What I actually do in my house is I have a jar of crunchy peanut butter and I have a jar of marshmallow fluff. And for you guys who don't know what marshmallow fluff is, it's just like this jar of this like white liquid marshmallow. And so I'll get the crunchy peanut butter out of the cabinet, and then I have to hide the marshmallow fluff. I'll tell you why I have to hide that in just a minute. And I'll also tell you why I have two jars of it, both hidden. So I get the peanut butter out, crunchy peanut butter, full of peanuts, right? And then I get the marshmallow fluff out, and then I get two spoons. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the perfect combination of crunchy peanut butter and fluff into my mouth at the same time. So that's like my fun activity on the weekend. Now I have two jars of marshmallow fluff in my house because if you ever come to visit, I don't want you eating the one that I eat out of. I want you get the guest fluff. Everybody should have guest marshmallow fluff in their house. So that's one thing. And then the reason I have to hide, and we'll get to the real training in just a minute. The reason I have to hide the marshmallow fluff is because one day I was cleaning up one of the kids' rooms, and under the bed, I see a jar of marshmallow fluff that used to be in the cabinet, and it's empty, and there's a spoon in it, and the cap is on. So I pull this thing out from under the bed. I'm like, this feels lighter than it should feel. I open it up, there's a spoon, and the thing is just cleaned out. So one of my kids took that jar of fluff and, like, I don't know if they ate it in one sitting. That sounds horrific. Or if they just, a couple of bites every day. However they pulled this off, that's probably more, that's like worse than like you when you break out of jail. For you guys who have had to break out of jail, and if you haven't, you can use this to break out of jail. You get a file and you just make one little file per day. And eventually you cut your way through the wall. Um, at least that's what I'm told. So I think that one of my kids, like once a day, was just eating a spoonful of the marshmallow fluff, and then they were done, and they didn't know what to do with the container, so they just put the spoon in it. They figured I'll never find it under their bed. Anyway, a question came in about understanding the value of a lead in dollars. And so I want to share with you today how you do that, how you figure that out. Because this is actually super important that you know how to do this in your business. Because once you understand what the value of a lead is in your business, you're able to make the right financial moves to get leads at least break even, but better get leads at a profit. So free leads is great. Free leads with a little bit of extra money on top, well, that's even better. So let me show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share a spreadsheet with you, and we're going to back into this number. Now, this is something you can all do. And you can just recreate this spreadsheet. You can just do it right. You can like watch this in a recording, or you can do it right along with me. By the way, for you guys who are here on YouTube, thanks for being here. What you're watching is a simulcast of a live coaching that I do every week to my masterminds. So they happen to be on Zoom right now, and we spend a little bit of time doing some stuff, and then I go live to YouTube to teach something that I think everybody could benefit from. So that's what you have. If you have questions, you can ask them in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, you're not watching it live, you can ask questions in the comments. If you don't know if this is the live or the replay, that's fine. Just follow along. I'm going to show you one of the most important numbers you can know in your business today, and that's the value of a lead. This is not super sexy stuff, but once you understand what the value of a lead is, you can make the right financial decisions in your business to get more leads at a profit. Instead of having to pay for leads, you're getting these things free or at a profit. So that's why this is important, and that's what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to share with you a spreadsheet, and we're going to back into this. I'm just going to create this spreadsheet from scratch. Okay, we're going to call this the value of a lead. And we'll give it a name. Hopefully it just takes that. No. Okay, and so let's imagine that you, for this example, you generate leads with, say, a lead magnet on LinkedIn, and those leads go into your CRM. So the method is lead magnet on LinkedIn, and then the leads into your CRM. That's the method to acquire the lead. And then the marketing trajectory, the marketing is email offers to your email list. If you're looking for like the sexiest of marketing in the world, this certainly isn't it. But if you're looking for the most profitable marketing in the world, this is it. Like in terms of profitability, email marketing to your list, even now, 2024 going into 2025, the most unbelievable return on your investment there. So you got to do it, right? So let's talk about your email list. And let's imagine for this example, let's imagine you have 1,500 people on your email list. Okay, so you have an email list, you got 1,500 people on that thing. And you've acquired them by having a lead magnet on LinkedIn or somewhere else. I have lead magnets everywhere. And the leads go into your CRM and you're emailing these people offers. So your email list size is 1,500. And now let's imagine you have an offer for something, and that offer is 97 bucks. Okay, so you have a $97 offer. And I can't even, like there's a bunch of people here on the Zoom that do all different things. And then there's a bunch of people that are watching this thing on YouTube. Everybody does something different. But, I've got somebody that I was just talking to before this call, and they do graphic design for real estate agents. So let's say for $97, they will, for graphic design for $97, they could maybe make a social card. They could make a social card that they could use on social media for 97 bucks. All right. So like that's an example of an offer that they could email their list. So the next number we need to think about is your conversion rate. So that means how many people as a percent convert to this offer? How many people actually take you up on this offer? I would say we get real conservative here, 3% or less. And so let's imagine that your offer is really good and your list is made of people who really need that offer, and you're able to convert at 2%. So you have an email list of 1,500 people. You email them an offer for $97 using an email sequence or strategy, and you have a 2% conversion. So how many clients does that yield? Or how many sales does that yield? Your sales, here's where we start to do the math, is equal to 2% of your list. If you convert it 2%, that means you made 30 sales. Okay, so I'm going to slow it right down because this is where we have to put on our thinking caps and we have to start doing real math. If you convert 2% of your list and you make 30 sales, or if you convert 2% of your list, you'll make 30 sales from a 1,500 person list. So then what's the revenue? Well, the revenue, you should be thinking how you calculate that. The revenue is equal to number of sales times price per sale. Okay, so 30 times 97, that's your revenue. So you generated $2,910. Not bad for an email campaign. So now here's where we can figure out the value of a lead. Understand that not everyone on your list is going to buy. In fact, only 30 people of 1,500 actually bought. However, those 30 people were the result of a 2% conversion. And that 2% conversion to get the 30 people is dependent on how many people are in your list. So the value of a lead, this is the value of somebody on your list, is equal to your total revenue for that campaign divided by how many people are on your list in totality. And so let's expand this out just a little bit. Somebody asked if I can just run through those all the calculations again. Yes, I will for you. So the value of a lead is $1.94. Okay, so the value of a lead is $1.94. If I do some sort of a campaign, here, let me go full screen on this to share that with you. If I do a campaign that is to a 1,500 person list on a $97 offer, I should generate $1.94 per person on my list, understanding that not every person on my list bought. But the reason that this number here, most important number, the reason that this number is important is because it gives me business intelligence. It tells me that if I'm going to do a campaign on a $97 offer and I instead have 5,000 people on my list, I can predict that at 2% conversion, I'll make $9,700. Because every person on my list is worth $1.94. Not every person on my list bought. Only 2% bought. But this is the number I'm looking to grow. We're looking to grow this. Okay, we're looking to grow this. Because the more people you have on your list, if you can maintain 2% conversion on a $97 offer, and we know your leads, every person on your list is worth $1.94, we can make a prediction for how much money you'll make on every campaign. So now you can start to back into revenue targets. And that gets a little bit beyond the scope of this, but if you're interested in making $250,000 a year, you know how many campaigns per month you need to run. You can back into that number. We've gone high. We've gone way up into the stratosphere. Let's cool it down and let's come back down to earth. Let's work with our simple 1,500 person list. Okay, you somehow were able to get a 1,500. By the way, while I'm thinking of this, if you want to understand how to grow this list organically, using real, simple, tried and true methodologies, I've got this awesome class called, what do I call this thing? Oh yeah, the Limitless LinkedIn Leads Machine. It's right here. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, it's right here in small print. Why not just write it in the smallest print possible? I've got this class that I want to invite you to. And if you're someone that would like to generate leads from LinkedIn and you'd like to sell things to those leads so that you can make some money in your business, so that you can have an impact on people and have fun while you're doing it, I suggest you take this class. It's an awesome class. So what I'm going to do is I will put the link for this in the chat, in the whatever that's called, in the chat here on YouTube. It's a great class. All right, so I just popped that link into there. That class is just phenomenal. And it will show you step by step by step, how to get leads from LinkedIn to build your list. All right, because that's what we want to do is we want to grow this. All right, so that LinkedIn leads, the limitless LinkedIn leads machine will help you do that. So let's just start from the top and go through these calculations again, real slow. You've got 1,500 people on your email list. So you have a CRM. You can send emails to people who are in your CRM. You've gotten permission to do that. And you can create email campaigns to send emails to these people. And now you've made up an offer. And for this example, because I was just talking with a graphic designer, I said make a social card. But this is just a simple service that you provide. All right, so whatever that is, it's a simple service you provide. It's 97 bucks. You're in fair exchange. You've priced it appropriately. And you can convert 2% of your email list to that offer. Convert means 2% of your email list says, I want this, and they give you $97. All right, that's what that conversion means. 2% of the 1,500 people say yes. So here's the first calculation is how many sales do you make at that conversion rate? You make 30 sales because 2% of 1,500 is 30. So the formula here is 2% times 1,500. And I'm going to show you how optimizing these numbers can really do some downstream, have some real big downstream impact. Actually, these three numbers, so we can play around with these numbers to have bigger downstream impact. So your revenue, the second calculation that we make, is the number of sales times the offer value. So 30 sales times $97 gives us $2,910 in cash collected. Yeah. So this formula, Grant, I'm glad you asked that. So the formula, there's no formula for this. We're just looking to grow this. We came up with this price. Your conversion rate is just what you're targeting. It's what you're trying to get. What you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to a 2% conversion. So this number is 2%. Thank you for asking. 2% times, I'm going to use an X for times, is 2% times 1,500. That's where that came from. Okay. And let's do this really clearly. Equals this times, I just want you to be able to see this as I move these numbers around, start to play with these numbers. Okay, so 2% times 1,500 equals, I really want the equal sign in there, equals okay, so that's how we arrived at the number of sales. We converted 2% of our list. And the reason I'm doing it in separate cells like this is because I'm going to play with these numbers and I want you to see how it all works. Okay. So then the revenue, well, that's equal to number of sales times the rate, the offer equals And so that's how we arrived at our profit. It's not our profit, that's our gross. Might be the profit as well. So then the value of a lead, just shift all this over, so I still have a little bit of space to work with. The value of the lead is equal to, one second. So this number, this 194 here, is equal to the amount of money you made divided by, I'll just have to use the slash for divided by, the number of people in your list equals that. And that is the most important number to know. You should wake up every morning. You should just wake up every morning knowing that if you promote an offer to your list and all of your numbers hold, you're going to make $1.94 for every person on your list. And if that's the first thing you think when you wake up in the morning, I mean, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I think to myself, is that a melted Snickers bar in the bed? God, I hope it is. Housekeeping, we're going to need more towels. The first thing you should think of is every person on my email list I can make $1.94 from. So if I send an offer out today and I do everything right, I'll make $1.94 for every person on my list. Then the second thing you think is, shoot, I got to grow my list. Because the more people on my list, the more money I make. Because for every person on my list, what I'm doing is I'm spreading out how much you make over every person on your list. Because it stands to reason, watch the numbers, just watch. If I double my list to 3,000, watch how everything else doubles. Except for the value of a person on my list. The value of a lead is still $1.94, but everything else doubled. I made 60 sales and $5,820 because I grew my list. So then your job becomes growing your list. And by the way, one of the most tried and true, tested and perfected ways to grow your list is by getting leads from LinkedIn organically. And that's why I created the Limitless LinkedIn Leads Machine. It's this amazing class that will teach you step by step, starting with your offer, all the way to the sales call, how to get leads, clients, or both from LinkedIn. It's an amazing class, and I happen to be delivering it on Tuesday of next week, and then again on December 4th. So there's a link to get yourself in that class. I just put it in the chat of the YouTube video. You guys who are on the Zoom, you already have access to it. You're already in. You don't have to do anything. So it's in the chat of YouTube. I'll also put it in the comments for you folks who are watching this on the replay. So now let's mess around with these numbers just a little bit. Let's go back here to the 1,500. What would happen if you did a better job with your email campaign? What would happen if you closed 3%? What's your prediction? You're going to make more money because you're going to make more sales, but watch the value of a lead if you can do a better job converting people from your email list. Check it out. If you can do a better job with your average conversion to your list, your value of a lead goes to almost $3. And you make more sales and you make more money just by optimizing your conversion, your conversion rate optimization, your CRO. That means sending more emails that convert versus emails that people ignore. But what if you do a terrible job? What if it's just 1%? Not that, and that's not that 1% is a terrible job. 1% is fine. 0%, we don't want that. Well, now the value of a lead on your list is 97 cents. So your whole mindset becomes growing your list and doing a better job at converting through email, which means writing better subject lines, getting your open rate up, and doing the things to your list that get them to take action. So we'll settle in on 2% because that's a fun number to work with. But how else can we optimize this? Well, what if your $97 offer was so valuable, you could charge $127 for it? That brings up the value of a lead on your list because you've got the same amount of people spending more money and you just had to raise this a little bit. Not scientific, but in my experience, if somebody's going to pay 97, they'll also pay 127. We shouldn't see a change in conversion rate moving from 97 to 127 or 997 to 1,270. We shouldn't see that big of we shouldn't see any conversion drop because if they're willing to pay that, they'll pay more. They'll pay more. Your value of a lead does not change if you increase leads, but your revenue changes. So if this changes to 1,900, my revenue goes up, but everything else stays consistent. So we can start to optimize this by just turning the knobs. Turning the knobs. One of the knobs that you'll turn is your conversion rate. Go for a 2.5% conversion rate and watch what happens. That's one knob that we can turn. Just working to increase our conversions. Optimizing our price. Maybe it's 147. Or maybe it's 97. Maybe we test that and it doesn't work. And now we're back at 97. That's fine. Every morning when we wake up, we say, every person on my list is worth $2.43 if I send out a campaign. So let's create a campaign and let's make some money. And we're always looking to grow this list. And I think that's the most important part of this is you're looking to get more people on your email list for many reasons. You own it. It's not like LinkedIn can shut you down. I had a private client this week who got shut down, completely shut down by Facebook because in one of their Facebook posts, they talked about the company Chanel. And Chanel filed a complaint against them. And Facebook put them in Facebook jail for a little while because Chanel didn't want them mentioning their name. So if you're looking for an ethical, step-by-step, easy-to-follow methodology for getting people from LinkedIn or any social platform for that matter, the LinkedIn Limitless Leads Machine system is for you. Like if you're someone who you're looking to get leads yourself, or maybe you get leads for other people, maybe you want to just get more business, or you want to have an understanding of how you can get leads while you're sleeping, while you're not working, leads just coming in all day long. Well, I want you to get this. I want you to take this class. This class is awesome. It's going to show you that. In fact, some people who take this class, which I'm going to be delivering next Tuesday, which is the 19th, November 19th. I'll deliver it again on December 4th. And if you're watching this in a replay and it's past December 4th, just go to this page. You can see the replay. I'm going to have the replay available. But I really do want you to get into this class because it's going to help you do that. It's going to show you the exact methodology I used to generate $104,000 from one social post organically. I'll show you exactly how I did it step by step. And some people by the end of watching this training will have gotten leads already. So the link for that is in the YouTube chat. And it's only going to help you get more leads and more business. So I'll put that link right there. You just go there, check it out. But the reality is, and let's just bring this thing to a close because we're at the top of the hour. The reality here is what's most important for you is understanding, if you have a person on your email list, what their dollar value is. Not that the person has a dollar value, but what they could contribute to your business by making a purchase based on your offer. And then how do you optimize conversion? How do you optimize sales? How do you optimize your price? And most importantly, how do you optimize your list so that you have a list full of people who just want to buy from you? How do you do that? Well, that's what we talk about in this class here. And so go to the link that will be in the description of this video, or go to the link that's in the chat and take this class. I really want you to take this class. I want to help you do this, because it's so liberating when you wake up every morning and you just see more leads just waiting for you to help them. Because that's what it's all about. About helping people. It's about having great impact on those people, changing their lives. Like I'm trying to help change yours. It's making money and doing it in a way that's actually fun. Because that's why you started your business. You wanted to have fun. All right, so that link's there. So YouTube, thanks for hanging out today. I'm going to shut down the live stream, chat with my